it's Jez here for Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm bringing you a project today that I made for the Stamp and Hop blog hop that I was on Friday, and the theme was goodbye to the annual catalogue. So it was things that were retiring. So I made a little prototype handbag here with that is already retired DSP, and it is a little bit the same sort of makeup as my bag I shared the other week. So I shared this bag a couple of weeks ago, and so the basic bag design, I've just resized it so it's made in a similar way, and I've made it look more like a handbag with adding a flap. So yeah. So to make this, I am using Best Dressed DSP. It's quite a small bag, so I chose a sheet that had sort of fairly small flowers. There were some that had bigger flowers, and I've used an embossing folder that I absolutely love that is retiring for the flap over, and I'm using Lovely Lipstick, which is also retiring. I've embossed that before, so that save a bit of time. So that's for the flap. I thought that would go really, really lovely. On this, I just cut some 1/2-inch circles to decorate. The 1/2-inch circle punch is retiring, but I think for this one I'm going to use the faceted gems, which are also retiring, and I've coloured them with the Lovely Lipstick stamping blend, also retiring, and so I think that would look quite nice and give it a little bit more bling. And this is the crinkle seam binding ribbon I've used on this one, but because I'm adding a little bit of bling, I'm going to use our metallic edge ribbon. Now neither of these ribbons are retiring, but I've coloured that with the stamping blend as well, which is good. I love these two ribbons because with them being whisper white, then you can turn them into any colour you want with a blend. So it saves you buying lots and lots of ribbon. You can just buy white ribbon and colour them with blends. And if you're like me, you'll have quite a bit of blends anyway. So yeah, that's what we're making. And it just, I make a lot of bags and I use magnets, but this one is just a ribbon tie. So that's I just thought that was slightly easier. Plus I run out of magnets. I've ordered them, but they're not here yet. So I needed to design something that didn't require magnets. So the base of the bag is a 6x6 sheet of paper. So you can make 48 of these out of a pack of paper. So you get 48 sheets in a 6x6. You get 12 sheets in a 12x12 pack. But you can cut them down to each sheet would be 4 sheets of these. So yeah, if you were doing craft fairs, thank you gifts, teacher thank yous, whatever. Not that you've got many chance to see your teachers right at the moment because the school's not being open. But yeah. So when you're back, when you'll be so grateful for them because you've been trying to homeschool your children, you'll realise that actually teachers work hard. As a teacher myself, yeah, I can verify they do work hard. Okay, so we are going to score at 2 1/4 and 3 3/4, and then we're going to turn it a quarter turn, and we're going to score at 1 1.5 and 4.5. And whilst I've got my scoreboard out, I may as well do this. Now I do this so that I want the diamonds pointed down to be the flap. So we want to put it so the side you want to be across the bag is pointing that way. The score lines are where you're going to fold it over. So that's really not very well explained. So you want to put it so that it's on that way. You want your front of your bag being that way. and we are going to score at, I'm just looking, I can't see it. I wrote it down. There it is. Forgotten where I wrote it down. 1 1/4. It's slightly difficult, and 2 with the fact that I've already embossed it, but we can manage. So that's the flap over the top. And for the handle, so that's 3 3/4 by 1/2 inch, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch from each side. So all the measurements will of course be over on my blog, nigezza.co.uk, so you don't have to sort of worry about them for now. So put those to one side for now, and let's do our bag. So we're going to, it's a no cut bag, so we're just going to fold and burnish, and I've just remembered I forgot to put my notches in, but we'll do that in a sec. There we go. And what we need to do is we need some little notches on this. I'll bring my scoreboard back. So on the side with the small little 1 1/4 inch bit there, we're going to basically score from 1 1/4 inches from each one of those score lines, which is 3/4 on this side and 5 1/4 on this side, and then we're going to turn and do the same here. So that is 3/4 and 5 1/4. So that distance between there and there is the same as that distance between there and there, which is 1 1/2, not 1 1/4. Okay. And then I don't know why I put my scoring tool away, because I need that. So then we're going to draw, it's exactly the same as I did for the other bag, if you saw that video. We're going to score from where those 2 score lines there intersect to that little mark there. And we're going to score a little triangle there, and we're going to do it on the other side there. And the same here. Middle to out. You make like house roof shapes. You know, the houses you draw when you were a kid. That was kind of the shape you drew. Well, it was the shape I drew. And then we're just going to pinch this little diagonal score line that you've just scored, and it is much easier. I was teaching this over on a Zoom, and it is much easier if you pinch it one side and then pinch it back the other. You will find your bag will fold up quicker, easier. It was quite difficult over Zoom when you actually end up quite a small picture, so it is hard to sort of see. So I said basically fold it each way, and then it will come together easier. There we go. So like the other bag, if we fold them both into the middle there, and they should meet, and you go help them up a little bit, as you fold your bag up, they should form like that. And then it's just a matter of taking your bone folder and giving those a good little burnish in that position. and that is the basis of your bag. And these will make lovely table favours as well. If you're doing a wedding, there'd be a cute little wedding favour. And so we're just going to apply a bit of glue. So we're going to put glue around that triangle bit. We're going to avoid the roof of your house. So this was the point in my other bag where I added magnets and ribbon, but this bag's having a flap over to make it look like a proper handbag, so we won't be doing that. And there we have it. So they get folded down, glued, and then that will fold up like so. Now you could glue these down as well, but the bag will hold together without that, so you don't really need to do that. Okay, I don't think I did that on the other, did I? Oh, I did. Tell a lie. So just to give it a little bit more rigidity, I did put glue on these triangles. So just on that triangle bit. There we go. Now take your bone folder and glue those down. So that's your little handbag. So it measures 1.5 inches by 3 inches. So it's quite a nice little size there. So if it was like a table favour, you could get some goodies in there. So then we've got our flap. So on your flap, you've got the short side is 1 inch, and then the long side is 1.25 inches, and that's the bit that's going to be at the front, and the other bit's going to be at the back. So I'm just going to burnish those school lines a bit better, and then to make it look prettier, I did round the corners with the corner rounder. This isn't retiring either, thank goodness, because you need a corner rounder in your craft room, and I like this one with the other little bits and pieces. So see if you've got a preference to what's the front and what's the back. Haven't really. It's all much of a muchness. So you're going to glue one end sort of to the back. So you're going to glue the back down, and that's going to be tied in place. So we're going to put glue over this bit. There we go. And then that's going to get stuck down to the back. It is the same width. So I'm just going to put the paper so that it is just below that score line. So that's the back. And then this is where we need to do attach our ribbon. So you can use a crocodile, a hole punch. You could even use a pokey tool, although you'll find it hard to get the ribbon through. I've got a crocodile. I'm sure you've got some sort of hole maker. So I'm going to use the little one, and I've got it set at 1/2 inch. So I'm eyeballing where the centre is and going up 1/2 inch, like so. And then, so we've done 1/2 inch for that one, and then what you want to do is hold it down to where you want it to be, get a pokey tool so that you can mark where that hole wants to be. So it wants to be there, and then I'm going to adjust. So that's gone down to about 7/8. So if you've got a different sort of hole punch, you can punch it differently. So I'm going to move this down. So it's about 7 inches. Not 7 inches, 7/8 of an inch, so that I can then punch that hole, eyeball at the middle, and that's going where I made that mark, and that is about where I want that to be. And then I'm taking my ribbon, so I coloured it with a blend. I'm just running up with my bone folder because it makes it a little bit rigid sometimes. It's about 12 inches that I've done, so I'm just going to snip that off, get the centre of the ribbon, and we will poke it through. Now I've used the smallest hole, so it's not going to like it, but I'll get it through. But because we're just going to hold this in place with a knot, we being so small is a good thing, because then it's not likely to come out. So tie that knot, make sure the knot goes close to the edge, like so. So now that's not going to come through. Then your ends are going through. You can do them one at a time. They're going through here. I hope all that was in shot actually. I forget, I'm down here and I'm off camera. I adjusted my camera position. So I've got a non-pokey tool. So it's a, well, it's not, don't poke a hole. It's got a blunt end. There we go. Making this look a lot more complicated than it really is. There we go. So then that pulls through, and then you can tie a bow. And as ever, I will fiddle with this until I'm happy. There we go. And then I'm going to get my much sharper scissors. Oh, oh dear, I won't tell you what I did then. Ah, dear me. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a trim on that side. A trim also. So there we are. Pretty, like it. Okay, and then for this, I'm just going to fold up the score lines. And then I'm just going to curve that a bit. and then that's just going to get stuck on the top there, so we need a bit of Tombow. I'm just going to run my bone folder down each edge because it's it was on the cut edge. There we go. Glue on that. I just think this makes quite a cute little handle for a handbag. And I don't do it right to the end, I come in the end a bit. So you've got a little margin, and make the sort of the margin at each side the same as the one on the end. Hold that for a couple of secs. And then I've got my faceted gems. So when I was deciding which size, I coloured one, held it against it, thought, oh, that's too little. Go for the big one. I've only got 2 big ones left. And so I use the nub end, not the brush end, and just colour all the way around. It can fray your brush end if you use your brush end on these. Make sure that's well covered. And then I will stick that, and then that fits nicely in that little bit at the end there. So you've got a little bit of bling on the top to go with a little bit of bling on the ribbon. So there we have it. Cute little handbag. Hope you liked that. So all the details and all the measurements will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk, and you'll see a link to it down below. And I will link to the original blog hop as well, so that you can have a little look at other sort of retiring items that people have highlighted, so you can make sure that you don't miss out on things, because this is the time when things start selling out fast. And so if there is something that you want, then you need to get it in your basket quick. Okay, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay safe. Bye-bye.